Okay, so Voyager 1, that crazy far-out probe from NASA, is still sending back info after all these years. It's pretty wild to think we can measure the universe even when we don't fully get it. This spacecraft, launched way back, like over 45 years ago, just sent back a signal that's got scientists buzzing. Seems Voyager 1 found something so big, it's actually changed the mission. It's heading back towards Earth after traveling over 14 billion miles. What did Voyager 1 find? Was it some weird space thing? Proof of ET? Something even crazier? Let's rewind a bit. The Voyager twins are some of the coolest spacecraft we've ever launched. The planets had to be aligned in a certain way. These planets were slowly getting in line about 60 years ago. Back in '65, a Caltech PhD student named Gary Flandreau realized this was huge. He was working part-time at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, figuring out the cheapest way to send a probe to Jupiter or even further. With just a pencil, he figured out that all 4 giant planets would be lined up for visits in the late 70s and early 80s. This meant a spaceship could slingshot from planet to planet, using gravity to speed up. Flandreau figured this could cut the trip to Neptune from 30 years to just 12. There was a catch: this alignment only happens every 176 years. NASA had to launch something by the mid-70s to make it happen. So, NASA built Voyager 1 and 2 to check out the outer planets. Voyager 1 launched on September 5, 1977. Because of the planet alignment and Flandreau's calculations, Voyager 1 took a shorter route into space. Their main job was to study Jupiter, Saturn, and their moons. But they did way more than anyone expected, going further and longer than any other spacecraft. They've broken records and gone into totally unknown parts of our galaxy. These spacecraft are over 12 billion miles away, and their new stuff keeps surprising scientists. Very recently they had an amazing find that caught everyone off guard. So after 40 years, the probes did some amazing things too. Voyager 2 was the first to fly by Uranus in '86, and then Neptune a few years later. To keep them running, NASA turned off things like heaters and spare parts. The plan was to keep them going until at least 2013. The scientists and engineers who've been on this ride since the start are feeling all kinds of things. And just when they thought the Voyager missions were ending, this crazy new discovery from deep space showed up. The Voyager spacecraft gave us our first close-ups of Jupiter and Saturn's moons. These moons turned out to be way more active than expected. Voyager 1 got to Jupiter in March '79, and Voyager 2 followed in July. The cameras used filters to take color photos. They were built to stay steady, so the pictures were super clear. The Voyagers sent back over 33,000 images of Jupiter and its moons. One of Jupiter's moons, Europa, had tons of cracks in its icy crust. A gravity slingshot gave them a speed boost as they left Jupiter. The Voyagers split up at Saturn after flying by Titan and through Saturn's rings. Voyager 1 headed north, and Voyager 2 went on to Uranus and Neptune. Voyager 2 found 10 new moons at Uranus. There was a sad tragedy then. The Space Shuttle Challenger exploded, killing all 7 crew members. Voyager 2 saw winds of 1,000 miles per hour at Uranus. And at Neptune, it flew by its moon Triton, with frozen volcanoes that spew nitrogen gas. After the Neptune flyby, the cameras were supposed to be shut off. However, Carl Sagan suggested to point the cameras back towards the Earth and take a picture. NASA agreed in 1990. Sagan convinced NASA to let Voyager 1 take one last set of pictures. Pointing its cameras back towards the inner solar system, it took 60 images. One of them, called the pale blue dot, showed Earth from 3.8 billion miles away. It's just a tiny speck, barely visible. Voyager 1 went beyond the heliosphere in August 2012. This was huge. The next year, a paper sharing Voyager 1's discovery came out in Science Journal. In April and May of 2013, the spacecraft's plasma wave instrument saw a strong solar eruption. The electrons near Voyager 1 vibrated, showing that it was in an area with higher particle density. It turns out that interstellar space has a higher electron density than near the Sun. Scientists figured out that Voyager 1 officially left on August 25, 2012. The team was thrilled. Project manager Suzanne Dodd said they were excited to see Voyager reach interstellar space. Ed Stone, who's been on the mission since the start, said Voyager had showed us a region, expanding our understanding of energy and radiation in space. Scientists are now using Voyager's data to better understand how our solar system interacts with the galaxy. Voyager 2 entered interstellar space in November 2018. But the real news is about Voyager 1. It's been sending back data for 46 years, even though its main mission is done. It's traveled 14.7 billion miles. However, recently, Voyager 1 made a super weird discovery that's got scientists scratching their heads. Something happened during the flight. Voyager 1 started sending back info about weird data and course issues. The signals had info about a mysterious thing that couldn't be explained. This thing seemed to be a huge, undiscovered object with a strong gravitational pull that was messing with the spacecraft's path. The science community was shocked. Is it a black hole? A rogue planet? Something else entirely? If this is real, it could change everything we know about the universe. NASA set up a team to check it out. They're using everything they've got to study the data and might even reroute Voyager 1 to get more info. Voyager 1's found something big. Even after a 45-year mission, it still is pushing to find the unknown. Voyager 1 was only expected to last 4 to 12 years. It's still going strong after 45 years. It uses radioisotope thermoelectric generators, powered by the heat from plutonium-238. NASA thinks the Voyagers might run out of power by 2025. Normally, NASA is in routine communication, using the Deep Space Network. Voyager 1 was sending back data for 40 years, until NASA's computers started showing a strange signal that made everyone nervous. Voyager 1 stopped for the first time ever, made a whole 180-degree turn. Scientists were shocked and didn't know what was happening. Voyager 1 didn't respond to NASA's commands at first, but then it started sending back data that surprised and worried experts. The data shows that Voyager 1's path has been messed with by a big, unknown object with a huge gravitational pull. Now, it's a race to figure out what this thing is and what it means for our understanding of the cosmos. Voyager 1's mission has become a symbol of human creativity and determination moving space travel further. As it goes into the unknown, it keeps giving us data that challenges what we thought we knew. Equipped with the latest technology, scientists are watching the data, hoping to find even secrets of the universe.